Hi, welcome to the virtual George Washington's birthday celebration. My name is Elise Goldberg, and I'm the site manager here at Washington's headquarters State Historic Site in Newburgh, New York. Washington's headquarters is the first publicly owned historic site in the nation, opening in 1850, and it's where General Washington stayed and headquartered for the last 16 and a half months of the war. Martha was here for 12 of those months as well. Today, we are doing a virtual birthday celebration, but we do hope that you come down to the site when you can. Contact information will be at the end of the program, and if you just want to call us, you can call us at 845-562-1195 for more information. Before we start the program today, I'd like to thank the Palisades Interstate Parks Commission, the Palisades Parks Conservancy, and the Friends of the State Historic Sites of the Hudson Highlands for their support of programs like this. So please sit back and enjoy our program. Thank you.
We are looking for a spy. Look at the state of our defenses. The state of our men, no ammunition, no supplies. We will not win this war without intelligence. I know it puts us in great danger, but a spy network is critical to our success.
Quartermaster Sergeant, formerly Paymaster Sergeant, 2nd Connecticut, Daniel Bissell, reporting for duty, sir.
Under the presence of a deserter, cross the line to the enemy camps, pass the examinations, view the British defenses, obtain a number of regiments, identify alarm posts, track musicians, and return to me in 7 days with the information. Do not write anything down. They will kill you if they find out who you really are.
I live to serve General Washington. I fight for American independence.
I was a proud member of the Continental Army. I fought with General Washington for American independence. Several times, my leadership was the only reason why we are still fighting today. In 1776 at Lake Champlain, and in 77 near Saratoga. It was my actions that convinced the French to join this war. But also, like you, I understand the hardships of working for an ineffective Congress, a man who is incapable of even putting proper boots on your feet, committed to a bloody, protracted civil war. The British did not hang me as the rebel I was, as was their right by the Treason Act. They welcomed me back into the fold to fight for this land for the British crown. So join.
Have you heard from Bissell?
Here my suffering was truly great, without fire, without attendance, covered with head and body lice, unable to walk, delirious with fever. Did I speak of my malicious intent? Was my mission in jeopardy? How long have I lain here?
Any persons carrying written information will be treated as spies. They will be held to the highest extent of the law, including hanging in the public square. Long live the king! Find him!
He is a traitor to the crown.
Perhaps Bissell had turned from a spy to a traitor.
We cannot afford Washington to know our plans. What does he know? Tell me!
I am not a loyalist. Never was.
We are not so very different, you and I.
I'm an American! I'm an American!
Mother. Thank you for all your planning and preparations. We are very grateful for you.
Of course, I'm only sorry there's no roast beef.
None of us have tasted beef for 3 years, as it is all going to the army.
Too little they get, those fellows.
It is I who get too little. Don't you miss it, Tench? A big juicy steak with your potatoes?
Boys, please, the native hunters were able to get us fine red deer, so at least we have venison.
I would be careful for them if I were you. They could be tainting the meat.
Like the early settlers tainted their blankets with smallpox.
You're a native lover, always have been.
It was my job. I was an interpreter. I helped the Six Nations communicate with the British and Americans. I was acting as a mediary, for trades mostly.
You send a boy to college, you don't expect them to come home with all these new ideas in their heads.
Father, I'm in my 30s.
And unmarried.
Enough, Richard. All I am saying is that the native people should have shown some respect. We came here, took away their land, infected them with disease, and made them the enemy. They helped our earliest settlers survive. Without them, we could not still be here on this continent. How could you be so ignorant?
Well, there are other dishes. Pork, pigeon pie, turkey, and we even have a new one from back home, celery. It's very crunchy. And save room for dessert.
Sorry we don't have any wine today. We need to save our cast for the sick and wounded.
Is there cider at least?
I don't know why you do that, Matthew. Why do you go without in order to give to others? It is a fool's game. Bring the wine to the table, dear.
Is it wrong to want to help? Do you realize all you could have when we win the war?
I will lose all if you have it your way.
Now, we aren't going to speak of politics today.
So, Uncle Matthew, how is it at the First Continental Congress? Are these fools getting their act together?
Creating a new nation is not an easy task, especially with those actively working against the cause.
Why is it that your congressional friends keep antagonizing the British? Is it that they desire to be hung?
You know well, being a lawyer, that they are not enforcing the Patriot Act.
They should. Sorry for you.
Uncle is right. Your friends, the Tories, burnt down my saddle shop just because I supported the non-importation resolution. What else was I to do but to join the cause?
You could have joined your brothers in the British military, fight for the crown, instead of being the traitor you are. I cannot believe that you are my son.
I can't believe I have a Tory for a father.
Thank you all for gathering on this thank day. We have much to be grateful for.
Hear, hear.
I don't know what you two are so giddy about. Why are we even celebrating on this day?
Why, the victory at Saratoga, of course.
Hardly a victory and hardly one worth celebrating. You two are delusional if you think that the traitors will...
Patriots!
Traitors! You two are delusional if you think the traitors will ever reign victorious against the crown and its army. Bunch of scrappy farmers and young boys. No training, no supplies, no chance of winning this war.
General Washington has proven time and time again
what a traitor he is, that he has no clue how to manage an army.
General Washington is a great man. He has taught me.
Taught you how to commit treason against the crown? Against your own country.
America is my country.
How about a song before dessert?
We gather together to ask the Lord's blessing. He chastens and hastens His will to make known. The wicked oppressing, cease them from distressing. Sing praises to His name. He forgets not His own. Beside us to guide us, our God with us joining, for nation
July 1782. General Washington writing to you. Mr. Tench Tillman, where have you gone? When will you return from leave 4 months long? Where did you go, wise Mr. Tench? Dodging the royalist Hessians or French? Wandering up or sailing back down? Did you return home to Chestertown? 7 long years you served by my side, helping to guide the patriot tide. Officers make guesses all wild and willy, for we've seen hide nor hair since we parted at Philly. Where did you go, oh dear Mr. Tench? Dodging the loyalist Hessians or French? Wandering up or sailing back down? Did you return home to Chestertown?
Some thought you captured, some thought you dead. Or to your cousin Anna Maria you'd wed. Your perfect discretion has gained our respect, but it's near half a year since we did last connect.
Where did you go, brave Mr. Tench?
Dodging the loyalist Hessians or French?
Wandering up or sailing back down?
Did you return home to Chestertown?
My husband's been worried so loud and so long. All of your leave he's been singing this song. Hope that his worry has not been a waste. Come back to Washington's family post haste.
Where did you go, fair Mr. Tench? Dodging the loyalist Hessians or French? Wandering up or sailing back down? Did you return home to Chestertown?
Did your 2 brothers turn your code red? Fighting by their side is what got you dead. Or was it your father, the loyalist he, return you to England with brother Willie?
Where did you go, oh young Mr. Tench? Dodging the loyalist Hessians or French? Wandering up or sailing back down? Did you return home to Chestertown? More questions raised than are solved by your letter. Still we are hoping it's all for the better. Beat back the bricks, but there's much left to do. Aide de Camp Tench, I am waiting for you. Where did you go, oh wise Mr. Tench? Dodging the loyalist Hessians or French? Wandering up or sailing back down? Did you return home to Chestertown? Will you return to headquarters now?
Hello, darling. Long day at school?
It was horrible, Mom. They kept laughing at me.
I'm sorry, baby. Those kids are just not seeing the true beauty of you.
Mom, why do they make fun of my glasses? I don't like them anyway. They're stupid on my face.
Honey, they aren't stupid on your face. Your glasses help you see. Here, let me tell you a story.
Is it one of your history stories again?
Yes, it is, my love. This one has a moral in it, too, so listen carefully as I tell you a little-known story about George Washington during the Revolutionary War.
Glasses and wooden teeth? He must have gotten teased a lot.
He didn't have wooden teeth. Don't you pay attention to my stories?
I try, but there are a lot of them.
Hush now. Listen to this. On March 15th, 1783, General George Washington, Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, delivered a speech to gathered officers to address the recent letters and resolutions that were circulating amongst them, namely ones implying a threat to Congress should the officers continue to serve while unpaid.
The officers weren't getting paid? Why would anyone expect to work without getting paid?
Silly, huh? But unfortunately, since the war was taking so long and America was so young, there weren't enough resources. Under the Articles of Confederation, Congress didn't have the authority to tax the colonies to generate revenue. They relieved on voluntary payments from the states, and the state's record of paying was irregular at best.
They couldn't force new taxes on people fighting a war because of taxation without representation, right?
So you do pay attention.
Sometimes.
Well, by late 1782, many in the army feared that Congress would never pay. Led by Washington's rival, General Gates, they planned a meeting of the officers to discuss their next steps. An anonymous letter written by Major John Armstrong circulated and discussing giving Congress an ultimatum. If they didn't pay, the army would disband or take over.
Disband? Like leave the country unprotected in the middle of a war?
Mm-hmm. Both options would have been detrimental and basically ended America as it began. Luckily, Washington found out about the meeting and stopped it, calling for his own meeting in 4 days.
Pretty intense. But what does all this have to do with glasses?
I'm getting to it. So, Washington's first speech to the officers reportedly failed, but when he put on his reading glasses to read a letter from congressmen, the men were moved and the conspiracy collapsed.
Why would the conspiracy collapse just because he put on glasses? The officers didn't make fun of him or call him Four Eyes?
Believe it or not, back then, people were even more hurtful about glasses. Those with reading glasses were considered people with a disability.
A disability? Like Uncle Sean, who has cerebral palsy and uses a wheelchair?
They thought that people with disabilities could not run an army.
Why would they think that? Needing glasses is not a disability. And even if it was, it doesn't stop you from being a great general.
It is a misconception that people with a physical disability also have a mental disability.
Not Uncle Sean. He can do anything. He runs his own company.
I know, sweetie, but people back then did not understand even common disorders like impaired eyesight very well. In fact, at this point, Ben Franklin had yet to invent bifocals. In the 18th century, disabled people were shunned from society, was sometimes even jailed.
Can you imagine? George Washington, all-American hero, jailed for wearing reading glasses.
There were laws that people with disabilities would be exempted from military duties. So if they knew about his glasses, he might not even been general in the first place.
So people didn't know that Washington wore glasses?
The fact that Washington needed glasses was a closely guarded secret. When he revealed his vulnerability in that moment, in front of all those officers, he caused them to become compassionate. It was recorded that some men even wept. They were so overcome with emotion.
He couldn't have been the first guy in colonial times who wore glasses. Why were they so overcome with emotion?
Yes, visual impairments were common at the time, but they were considered a disability. Washington and his men had a strong bond. When he put the glasses on, he said, "You must pardon me, for I have not only grown gray, but also almost blind, in service of my country." They saw what he had given and continued to give in service of his country, and knew they were willing to make sacrifices too.
So they went back to work for free?
Well, with the promise of payment, it was considered one of Washington's biggest triumphs as a military general. He won with words, not bullets. If he hadn't won the men over, who knows the country we would have been living in today.
So what you're saying is that Army officers in the 1700s felt so much pity for someone they considered to be disabled that they worked for free. Great pep talk.
It wasn't pity, it was empathy, camaraderie, respect. As commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, Washington was expected to be perfect, flawless even.
But the glasses made him defective?
No, it made him human. It inspired the men to be their best, despite any shortcomings.
It's a good story, but I don't see how this is gonna help me look like less of a freak in these spectacles.
This man was someone they knew to be the strongest of the strong, the wisest of the wise, the most sublime man one could hope to be. Even though he was revealed to be an old man with a disability, there was no questioning his ability to lead. Every prejudice melted away in that moment. Same goes for you.
My classmates don't think I'm the strongest of the strong now. They think I'm a four-eyed loser.
It is about having compassion and understanding for others' difficulties. George Washington may have needed glasses, but no matter the challenge he faced, he refused to blink. His character and judgment never wavered. Everyone has their challenges, but only the truly weak of character turn to bullying others to make themselves feel strong. Your glasses are a strength. They help you to see more clearly.
It's hard sometimes, but I know deep down you're right.
I'll add hers.
What do I always say? When we show compassion and understanding to others and their difficulties, we create the world we want to live in. That's right. Everyone, no matter their abilities, has an important role in this world. Be kind to everyone and lead by example, just like George Washington did. Your abilities don't define you. Your attitude does.
Thanks. I'll try. I guess it's not that big a deal. At least I don't live in colonial times where I could get arrested for wearing glasses or having wooden teeth.
What? He didn't have...
Just kidding, Mom. I just wanted to make sure you were paying attention.
However, honey, while we have a little more rights nowadays, there are still people being harassed. So if you see someone being harassed, don't be afraid to stand up for them too. I'll support you no matter what, my love. So what's for dinner?